Behind me here is all of my mountain bikes. And every single one of them has either been built up from just a frame or has had like 95% of their parts changed from stock. Now, that's not to say I've spec'd these things with out of this world glitz and glamour dream spec builds here. If anything, they're all mid-tier builds with affordable parts. I personally just think they look cooler the way that I have them built versus anything you could buy stock. But here's kind of the thing. It generally never makes financial sense to build a bike piece by piece. And to make myself feel bad, I'm gonna use my 2011 Giant STP dirt jumper build and my custom steel single pivot trail bike to show you exactly how financially irresponsible it is to build up a bike from scratch. This, on my computer screen here, is the 2024 Polygon Colossus N7. It is an aluminum 29er, 170mm travel dual suspension enduro bike. It has a 170mm RockShox Zeb fork up front, is super deluxe plus rear shock, 12-speed Dior from Shimano. I'm actually not even gonna look at the brakes. This thing, for some reason, is $1,999 US. That seems absurd. This bike with this build listed at this price seems like a really great control to compare my frame up build. So we have $1,999 to play with. That money gets you a complete bike. How far can I get with this thing with that budget? As I talk about a bunch with these merino frames, you can get one built for $590 US. However, with this build, I went with Reynolds 725. That brought the total up to $700 US to get this frame without shock made. The shock itself goes for $309. One of these springs is $99. This fork, RockShox Revelation, 140 mils of travel. From what I can tell, they sell for like around $530 US. I don't know, you could probably find them for half price, so maybe like 250 bucks. Let's just go with like a half off price if you were able to find one for a good deal on Marketplace. In this hypothetical scenario, we don't have a headset yet, so the fork can't even really go into the head tube, but I think we'll just do the death blow now. Wheels. These are Chinese carbon wheels from Elite Wheels. They're called the 29er Pro 36, and they retail for $739 US. To spec these on this bike puts us over budget by $113 already. So $113 over budget for objectively a not as good chassis that you could get with a absolutely complete bike. I probably should have just bought a Colossus. Let's go make myself sad about buying a new bike for my 2011 dirt jumper now. So this thing I bought in its totally 2011 stock state for what would convert to about $300 US. I just really wanted a dirt jumper. This was available, so I got it. It had a blown fork, so eventually I got this Pike DJ fork to put on here, which are $917 US to get. Quick release rear hub that was on here with a single speed conversion moved all the time, so I had to get a different hub. I went with an Octane 1 hub, laced it to the stock Alienation Black Sheep rim, and I actually did the same with the front. I put a Halo wide boy on here. I honestly don't remember or want to look up how much any of that was, because the real crux of this all is I want a steel dirt jumper. So considering to buy the bike and put the Pike on it already brings me up to $1,217, all while knowing that I plan on replacing that frame with something steel, an intelligent human being would have just bought this and had it dealt with from like, this is the YT Dirt Love. They're like $1,700 to buy US. I'm basically slowly, over time, piecing together a worse version of this for more money. I don't like this video anymore. So then, if I know it's ridiculous, why do I keep doing it? There's definitely 3 reasons that I can think of off the top of my head. The first being, well, I typically don't have the amount of cash required to just go out and buy a new bike hanging around. Bikes are pretty expensive, and I really don't like the idea of going into debt for something that I'm gonna be like beating pretty hard and that could just break. So I much prefer the idea of just like paying for upgrades and things as I go, even if when you go through an exercise like this, it does make you feel a little bit stupid. The second thing being, well, some of the stuff that I think is the coolest, you kind of can't get as a complete bike. So for me to get this look with this steel frame, this actually was one of my more cost-effective options. And I am, in the end, when I'm not thinking about the money spent, I'm pretty happy that I did, because I'm a vain person, and anytime someone compliments this thing and says it looks sweet, I like that. Trust me, I recognize that that is ridiculous, and it's honestly reason number 3. Just kind of like a ridiculous person. Okay, this vlog is done now. If you are considering building a bike from scratch, I completely support your decision to do so. And if you are a better critical thinker than I am and more financially responsible, and you want to just buy complete bikes and not have to go through all this, I support that as well. A little jealous, honestly.